Hi, Tamara. This is Jared. I just wanted to give you a little bit of feedback personally on your lesson from Wednesday night. I thought overall you did a really nice job presenting this kind of mundane and monotonous grammar concept in a way that really utilized a lot of different engagement techniques that we can talk about here. But I'll just work my way through your lesson plan and just note some of the items and ideas that I wrote down while you were teaching. I wanted to begin with the learning objectives, and I really appreciate your decision to use student-friendly language rather than just saying the student will be able to do this or that. You put it in a way that the students can actually engage with. I can do this. I will be able to do this. And so I think that there's value in that, especially if you were to have these objectives up on the board as your students came into the classroom. And so we moved to the anticipatory set, and I timed you for each of these kind of segments of the lesson just to kind of give you some perspective. This whole section here, the anticipatory set, took you 4 minutes and 40 seconds. I really liked the music and the video presentation at the beginning, the way that you manipulated the lights. I like the comment that you said, the integration when you said this is going to be in conjunction with a unit that we have over mood. And I think, yeah, it ties in so well with Poe and some other authors, and just this idea of using language to create mood, especially building off this dark and stormy night concept. So I thought that this was well planned, and I think it was well executed. It maybe took a little bit longer than it needed to, considering our 15-minute kind of time frame. I know that's a difficult time to work within, but I thought it did what you were asking it to do in an exciting way. So nice work there. Moving on to the direct instruction, I clocked you at about 5 minutes and 15 seconds here. I thought your note sheet was a great idea and really helpful. The one suggestion I might make is to just leave some blanks on it to encourage students to fill those in as you go through the material. I know I was in the back and I was kind of writing some notes on your lesson plan, but it was easy for me to sort of just allow you to do the work of teaching without really engaging, where even just providing a blank for some of those major concepts on the note sheet would encourage just a little bit more participation on my part as a student, because I would know that you could collect those or you could see those. It would just give me something to do during that segment of the lesson. I think this is one of the strong parts of your lesson here was your activity of the stormy night. It took a little bit longer than it probably should have or needed to. It took 7 minutes and 15 seconds. And I think I was a little unclear at first whether students were supposed to be working with partners or independently. Certainly as you move into your own classroom situation, it's good to allow students to decide that on their own. But if you have a preference or there's a particular thing that you want to assess and students need to be working independently, then just tell them you're working independently. Or tell them, hey, find a partner, work through this together. The other suggestion I might make would just be that it was pretty long. And I think you could probably cut out 4 or 5 of those sentences in this activity and still get a pretty good idea of what students know and what they don't know. So that would just be one way to kind of trim a little bit of that if you needed to in a full class experience. And so then we got to the closure section, which I clocked you at 34 seconds. And I think at that point you could sense on your timer, hey, I was a little bit over time. I think 18 minutes or so was the final lesson length. And again, it's not that I'm stressing these time frames to try to upset you or be mean. I think it's just the reality is when we work in the K-12 setting, we're tied in those 50-minute chunks. And while 50 minutes is a heck of a lot more than 15 minutes, I think some of the same tendencies that you see in your lesson on Wednesday are going to pop up in a longer lesson as well. That you're just going to spend maybe some more time in areas that you don't need to, and then unfortunately, closure is kind of the area that, in my experience, always kind of gets cut off at the end because we get going on these other things and they're good things, and then we kind of rush the closure at the end or we skip it altogether. So I know you are sensitive about time and moving on to the next student to teach, but make sure you actually use that closure to do what it's supposed to do, kind of close up the lesson and give it kind of a conclusion. So anyways, all said and done, it was a good experience. I really enjoyed getting to know you this semester, and I trust that you will let me know in the future if there's anything that I can assist you with in any way. So have a great rest of the semester. Good luck with the student teaching, and I'll talk to you soon.